and let's go to page 5 in our packets. We've spent the last few classes, we spent a lot of time with one-step equations. So we should be super familiar at this point with those inverse operations. So we should know what operations undo or are the opposite of the ones that are in our equation. Our goal is still the same. So if we're on page 5 in our packet, we look at step 1. It says locate the variable. Then it says, step 2, use the addition subtraction first. Don't worry about the Q or anything like that. We're going to undo addition and subtraction first. Then step 3 says undo the multiplication or division, whichever one's in your question. And then we're going to check. So figure out where our variable is. Step 2, we take care of any addition and subtraction first. It's a little bit different, I know, with our order of operations. I know we think, well, Miss Golly, we should multiply, divide first. But that's not the case. When you're solving an equation, you want to undo your addition and subtraction first, then worry about your multiplication and division. Okay? So, let's try this out. My projector doesn't want to cooperate here. Let me see if I can get that rolling. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it just decided to quit on me. It did. The projector decided to give up today. Let's see if we can get her back. There we go. We got her. Here we go. All right, so what I want to do is I want to look at a couple questions together and then also give you guys a chance to try a couple. Let's look at question number 1. It says to locate the variable. What's our variable? A. A is our variable. Step 2 says we need to undo the addition and subtraction first. So if I look on the same side of A, what do we have? We have subtraction. How do we undo that subtraction? We add. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's add our 2. Now the equations we've been working with, after we add our 2, we'd be like, sweet, we're done. That was the world of one step, guys. We're starting to ramp things up a little bit here. So we're going to go ahead and add the 2. When I do that, -2, +2, I get a 0 on that left side. But what do I still have over there? What's really on the left, Sam? -65. Okay, that's over on the right. What do I have left on the left? A 9a, right? So let's put the 9a, keeping it on the left. Notice, guys, my equal sign is coming all the way down. The 9a is still on the left. And then if I need to, over on the right, if you need to pop that into your calculator, you can. -65 + 2? -63. So we're not finished because remember, guys, our goal is to get that variable all by itself. So in this case, it's an A. We want to get A all by itself. How am I going to do that? When the 9's right next to the A, that means we're multiplying. So how do we undo the multiplying? What do we do? Sam, what do we do? Division, yeah. We divide. So on the left side now, we've got A left. That's our goal, is to get A by itself. And then if I need to, guys, put the right-hand side in the calculator. -63 divided by 9. Put it in if you need to. I know some of us are better with multiplication facts than others, and that's okay. We've taught the last few classes. This isn't about computation. This is about, can you solve an equation? Do we have that process down? So we end up with -7. So we undo subtraction first. We undo the multiplication second. So we take care of addition and subtraction first, multiplication or division second. Once we have that pattern down, Guys, these aren't really any different than what we've been spending the last few classes on. They're not. All the steps are really the same. We just added one more. Now, the cool thing is we can still check. We can still check. There's my 9. Instead of A, I put -7, and I put a -2. Now, because we have calculators, because we have those calculators, we can just put that entire left side right in our calculator. We can put that entire left side in our calculator. It's super awesome. We can put that entire side in there. I'm going to pop that up real quick. So here's the cool thing. I know you guys are thinking, Miss Holly, now that check, that seems like a lot of work. Guys, but that check is going to let us know if we did it right. It's so awesome. It's one of the few subjects you can actually check. So here's my 9. The parentheses, guys, are right up above the 8 and 9 keys. So I'm going to do parenthesis. Instead of A, I put -7. And then we have a -2. So there's my check, all right on my screen. I don't have to try to, what do I do first? Do I multiply first? Do I subtract first? I can do everything I need right on the calculator. And that's totally fine, guys. That's fine. Again, this isn't, can I do computation? This is, can I solve an equation? And that's what I want to make sure you can do, is solve an equation. That's what I want to make sure we can do, is solve an equation. What I would like you to try for me, that should be switching back. I want you to just try question number 2. I want you to just try question number 2. And then we are going to go through it. I want you to take a shot at it and check it. So you should know before I go through it if you're right or not. So just try question 2. That's all I want you to do. We're going to take this one piece at a time today. So just try question 2 and let's see what we come up with. Let's see what we come up with. All right, guys, as I'm walking around, number 2 is looking really good for those of you that are trying it. Okay, I can't force you to try it.
I don't even understand how to do this.
Those of you that are trying it, it's looking really good. If you're a little stuck, let's talk about it. And those of you that have got it, I saw a lot of people checking too. That is so awesome. I see a lot of steps, and I see a lot of people checking instead of, hey, Miss Golly, did I do this right? You know you're right, and that's super awesome. So let's go through it, because I know I still have a couple of people like, I'm not real sure how to start this. Miss Golly, this is so different. It's not a lot different. It's one extra step. So here we go. We have the step-by-step up at the top. Step 1 says, hey, figure out where the heck your variable is. I don't know what to start with unless I know where my variable is. And I see I have an x over on the left side of the equal sign. Next, it says undo addition / subtraction. All right, well, in number 2, I see I have addition. How do I undo the addition? What are we going to use? We're going to subtract, right? So to undo the addition, we're going to subtract. There we go. My negative sign kept disappearing on me. So then over on the left side, we have a +7 - 7. Hey, there's the 0 that we like to see. Now, what I have left on the left-hand side, though, it's not just an x. I have a negative. Keeps asking me to close things. Sorry, guys. Apparently, my computer is not happy on a Tuesday. Here we go. So we have a -4x. And then, guys, I mean, don't hesitate to double-check yourself even with the calculator on the subtracting. That's okay. 31 - 7. I saw a variety of answers. It should be 24. Then step 3 says undo your multiplication or division, whichever one you have in the question. When the -4 is right next to the x, that means we have multiplication. So to undo that, we're going to use division. So x equals, we've got -6. Now we can check. Super easy to check. We just talked about, you can put the check right in your calculator. You can put it right in your calculator. You can't really see my negative on my 6, and it's not wanting me to erase. There we go. There we go. So if you need to, you can put that in your calculator. We're going to get positive 24 plus 7. We get 31 equals 31. We check. Even if that check is just going right in your calculator, that's okay. I still want you checking. I still want you checking. I want to try one more together with you and then give you guys some time, give you a couple more to try. And we're just going to kind of keep checking as we go. I'll try one, then I'll have you guys do a couple, and we'll see where we're at. Okay? So number 3. Please stop the tapping and things.
Oh, I went right to number 4.
That's okay. We're going to look at number 3. If you already did 4, hey, you're ready to rock with 4. Let's look at number 3, because number 3 looks just a little bit different. So first of all, step 1, it says, hey, figure out where your variable is. And I see I have a k on the left. Step 2 says, take care of any addition or subtraction first. On the side with k, I have a -11. To undo -11, we're going to add 11 to both sides. Notice, guys, I keep putting that equal sign there, and after every step, I'm drawing that horizontal bar so I can keep my steps separate and organized. And then that way, if I need to help you out or Mr. Andrews is helping you out, we can easily look at your work and say, oh, oops, here we should have added instead of subtracting. If we can keep our work organized, it's really easy to go back and find a mistake if we need to. All right, so -11 plus 11, that gives us a 0. Now I have k divided by 3. -5 plus 11 gives me 6. Now this one, we have that fraction bar. What does that fraction bar mean?
Division.
Yeah, it means division. How do we undo division? Multiply. So we times 3 on both sides. So on the left-hand side, all we have left is k. And 6 times 3 gives me 18. Lots of space for me to check. I put 18 back in for k. And you can still put that right in your calculator, guys. If you want to use the ABC key for 18 divided by 3, you can use the ABC key. It's a fraction. And then -11. Or you can do 18 divided by 3 minus 11. Doesn't matter. It's going to be your choice how you put that in. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's do just a little bit bigger chunk this time. Let's do up through question 6. And then I will have some volunteers to put some stuff up for us. And I need to check and see. The 3 I have circled up on the board, I want you to try for me, please. And then we will be around to help out. I can't get back to my call for some reason.
I get the it gets 3. It gets 3, but it says -8. Whenever I check it.
There we go. Hey guys, as I'm walking around, some people are skipping number 4. And I think we're not sure how to start number 4. That's the type, like we even saw with our 1 steps, where we're not real sure how to start something like number 4. So if number 4 is giving you problems, I'm going to talk about number 4. So in number 4, we find our variable. We've got our W. There it is. I've got to clear out the side with the W. It says to do addition and subtraction first, but here's the problem in number 4, and I think here's where people are getting stuck. We saw this with the 1 steps also in number 4, something like number 4. I need to move the 23 to the other side. I realize we see subtraction right here, and we're thinking, Miss Golly, we have to undo that subtraction. But that's not going to help me because the subtraction has the W with it. So we don't want to move that W. We want to move the 23. I have a positive 23. How am I going to undo that? Or what's the inverse of positive 23? Negative. Yeah, subtract. So be careful. Check your number 4. Check your number 4. Your first step in number 4 should be to subtract 23. Because remember, we need to make that 0. Positive 23 minus 23, that's going to make the 0 I need. So be careful in number 4. We need to subtract the 23. I know in the 1-step ones, that's something that we struggled with a little bit. And now here we see it again at the 2-step. So it's not something that's going to go away, unfortunately for us. So 8 minus 23, what do we get there? Negative 15. Now on the right side, we have to be careful because we have a 5W, but what's the sign? What's in front of that 5W? We really have a negative 5W. So number 4, there's a couple places that can trip us up in number 4. To undo a positive 23, just like with our 1-step stuff, to undo positive 23, we need to subtract. So we subtract 23 from both sides. We get negative 15 on the left. Over on the right, we have to be careful because there's really a negative in front of my 5W. So that negative has to come down. Then to undo my multiplication, I have to divide. So 3 equals W. I can put it back in and check. So 23 minus 5 times 3. 8 equals 8. It checks out. So that one, number 4, I could see number 4 being a little bit tricky. See if you can finish up 5 and 6, and I'll be around if you still have questions about number 4. No problem. We can take another look. Once you have your 5 and 6 checked, we can take a little break and then we'll come back and see if we can tackle 7 and 8. And then there's just a few on the back side of the sheet. Let's see if we can get just these few tackled today. So let's look at numbers 5 and 6. Because at this point, either we've got it and we're ready to check, or we're stuck and we need somebody to get us going. Okay, so let's try out number 5. Figure out where our variable is. I see an M over on the left side. I want to clear everything else from that side. Some of us are trying to move stuff from the right side. I need to clear out everything on the same side as that M. That's my goal. Keep M where it is. Get everything else out of there. Step 2 says take care of addition and subtraction first. So I see subtracting 11. So to undo that, I'm going to add 11 to both sides. There we go. Negative 11, positive 11. They're going to cross out eventually. I don't know why my computer's being weird. I apologize. It is being very weird today.
But that's okay, Miss Golly.
It is okay, except for when I want to show you guys the stuff and it's being really weird. It probably just needs to be restarted, but at this point I can't really restart it, otherwise I'll goof up my recording for our virtual people, and that won't be good.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do. Come on. Give me my edge back here. I don't want teams. I need...
You're not done with these, you can continue.
Yeah, if you're not done, go ahead and keep working while I try to figure out how to get my packet back up here. See if I can get that back. I don't know why my computer is being so weird today.
Probably it doesn't like it.
Not today, I guess.
I think that's the problem.
Okay, let's see if I can get it back loaded. Technical difficulties, here we go. See if it'll load now, maybe. If not, we'll just have to switch it and we'll have to go to the Elmo.
To the what?
It is. It's been really weird today.
What day is it?
Today?
Yeah,
Tuesday?
Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. That's why it's not working.
It very well could be.
Tuesday.
You would think that Mondays would be the day for it to not work, but I guess not.
It doesn't like Fridays.
You're gonna eat
It
my face? No, can you eat my
opens up faster on Fridays.
Alright, we better get a walk.
Yeah.
Sure, restart on the walk. You deny it.
Well, oh, maybe. Maybe it's a lie.
Are you a bicycle?
Yep, peace. Cheap face.
Nope. Alright, so what I will do
Got the whole place down, bro.
is we go.
Just use Mr. Weiner's computer.
Andrews probably doesn't have it.
There we go.
That's how you treat the job. He just murdered my psyche.
Alright, so number 5 we were working on.
Oh, the Weiner.
That was 0.
We added 11 to both sides.
It's not the Weiner.
So we get minus 11 plus 11, we get a 0. And we have 8m equals 0. Some of you stopped here like, Miss Scully, what did I do wrong? Mr. Andrews, help me. You didn't do anything wrong.
Nope.
I have to finish undoing multiplication. How do I undo multiplication? Division. Here's again where some people stopped. I can't divide by 0.
Yes, you can.
You're right, I can't divide by 0.
You died.
And that's okay because I'm not dividing by 0 here, I'm dividing by 8. 0 divided by 8
Equals 0.
is 0.
Yep.
In number 6, remember, that variable, we want to leave it there. And we want to clear off anything on that side. Sometimes it's the left side, sometimes it's the right side. It's where the variable is what matters. I need to undo addition or subtraction. I need to move the 1. It's a positive 1, so how do I undo positive 1? Negative 1. Negative 6 minus 1, negative 7. Now make sure, guys, write down what you have left. Some of you are trying to just do both steps in one. Things are going to get jumbled. Take the time. We're not rushed here. Okay, I think we just gave you like 10-15 minutes for 4 problems. We're not rushed. Okay? Write down what you have left. Don't try to go back to where things are crossed out and, okay, now what do I do next? Now I have n divided by 4. Undo division. We've got to multiply by that negative 4.
Yep.
Positive 28 equals n.
When I first did it, I got negative 28. I forgot to put the negative 4.
So let's take a little walk break. When we come back, let's tackle 7 and 8.
I wanna burn this paper.
And I'm going to see if I can get my computer to work. my technical difficulties fixed, so I apologize if there was some dead air space there. I apologize. Technical difficulties happen. So anyway, back to number 5. To undo subtracting 11, we chose to add 11 to both sides. Negative 11, positive 11, we get that nice 0 that we want. On the left side, we have left 8m. Then over on the right side, negative 11 plus 11, we do get 0, and that's okay. I like to make sure we see some equations where we do get a 0 every now and then, so we realize it's okay. 0 can actually be a solution or part of the solution. We still have to finish off. The m is not completely by itself. So 8 times m to undo the multiplication, we have to divide. Now some people say, hey, wait, Miss Golly, we can't divide by 0. You're right, we can't divide by 0. So it's a good thing that I'm dividing by 8. This is 0 divided by 8. If you need to double check it in the calculator, you can. We should get 0. Make sure you are checking. 8 times 0 minus 11. Again, you can put that whole left side right in the calculator just as you see it, parentheses and all, and we will get negative 11 equals negative 11. It checks out. In number 6, we see the type that can stump us sometimes. The n is over on the right side. We want to get n by itself. What I need to move, though, I don't want to move the plus n divided by 4. I want to move we need to move that positive 1. So our inverse, or the opposite, or to undo, however that makes most sense to you, is going to be a negative. Keep showing each step as you go. I have some of you that are just trying to do both steps in your head, and then things are getting jumbled. Show the steps like I'm showing them. We will move into equations that have 3 steps and 4 steps. So we need to make sure that we're able to keep our work organized so that we can better understand where we're headed on each problem. If our work is all jumbled up, it's going to be tough for us to tell what our next step should be. So on the left side, negative 6 minus 1 is negative 7. Positive 1, negative 1, that's that nice 0 that we like. And we're left with n divided by negative 4. Again, guys, show that step. After you subtract the 1, show now what you have left in your equation. Now it's just a 1 step. To undo the division, we multiply by negative 4, both sides. So we end up with positive 28 equals n. Again, go ahead and check. That's something that you should be doing. You really shouldn't need me to go through these each time. So we end up with negative 6. It does equal negative 6. You can put that right side right in your calculator. You can use your ABC key to create that fraction, or you can press the division key if you want at that point. You can do either thing you'd like. Now number 19, number 7, there's a couple things that might throw us off there. We want to get x by itself. So to do that, we want to do any adding or subtracting first. To get x by itself, we need to move the 19. That's a positive 19. So to get the 19 off of that side, I have to do that inverse, or that opposite piece. So the inverse of positive will be negative. Here's where we have to be careful. Positive 19, negative 19, I get a 0. But what really comes down is a negative x. I can't forget that negative sign. It has to follow the x. Now here's where some students got stuck. They're like, sweet Miss Golly, I'm done. X is by itself. X isn't by itself yet, guys. We still have a negative in front of it. And remember, mathematicians are lazy. There's really a negative 1 there. So now we have negative 1 times x. To undo our multiplying, we need to divide. So x equals negative 11. So now when we go to check, subtract, and then in for x has to be negative 11. So here's the subtract. That's part of the equation itself, the original. And then we have the negative for the 11. A negative, negative, that's going to become a positive, and we get 30 equals 30. Last but not least on this side, we have number 8. We need to undo that negative 17 first, so we're going to add. Remember, we want to do any adding or subtracting first, then we worry about multiplying and dividing. Negative 17, positive 17 gives me the 0 I need. Now again, I'm going to write down, I have r divided by 2 on the left, and I have negative 8 on the right. That's going to be my result after that first step. If I write down my result, now it makes figuring out the second step a whole lot easier, and I'm going to make a lot less mistakes. It takes a little more effort on our part to write that extra step, but I'm going to make less mistakes that way. To undo dividing by 2, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And we end up with r equals negative 16. Again, super easy check. You can use the ABC key if you want when entering that in your calculator. Or if you want to just use the division key, you can. We're going to get negative 25 on the left and on the right. We are balanced. If we go to page 6, what I would like you to try and have ready for the beginning of class tomorrow, question numbers 9 through 14 only. There's 15 through 20 at the bottom, or 15 through 18 at the bottom. Don't worry about those. Sorry, my computer's kind of all over the place, guys. I apologize. There we go. So just 9 through 14, we're going to correct those at the beginning of class tomorrow. And I know you're looking at those thinking, oh, but Miss Golly, I'm going to need help with these. There's decimals, there's fractions. Remember, guys, we worked with decimals and fractions when we did all the one-step stuff the last few classes. Our steps don't change just because there's decimals and fractions. So go ahead and try these out for tomorrow. We will go through them.